Hey, this is Carter Graham and welcome to this Flip It Live demonstration page where I will talk you through the process of having the Flip It Live crew set you up with your own live webcast studio. By the end of this video, you'll be able to tell exactly how passionate the folks at Flip It Live are when it comes to spreading the message and the power of live webcasting to as many people as possible. There is absolutely, positively, no medium as powerful and as flexible as live web broadcasting when it comes to getting your message out there, connecting with or building your list of followers, and bringing in revenue that you didn't even know you were missing. Now, a lot of people have a false notion that setting up your own live webcast studio is super expensive and majorly complicated. But the truth is, both of these things can be totally true if you try to go it alone and figure it all out by yourself. But with a little help from the Flip It Live team, you'd be surprised at how easy and inexpensive it can actually be. Now, there are actually several levels of live webcast studio that you can set up. Today, I'm going to show you two. First, I'm going to tell you about a typical setup that we might build out for some internet rock star like Rich Schefren or Andy Jenkins or Don Crowther, somebody like that. Then, I'm going to show you a system that you could set up and get into for very little expense. Now, it's important to understand that both of these setups work equally well when it comes to communicating to an audience live, connecting with them, and using the power of live web broadcasting. So first, let me talk you through a setup like our Flip It Live team did for our friend Rich Schefren in sunny South Florida. Rich is the king of online business coaching and the author of the million-plus downloaded Internet Business Manifesto. He and I became fast friends after the Flip It Live crew and I did some video production and live web broadcasting at the Glazer Kennedy organization. Rich asked me what it would take to set him up a live web broadcasting system at his office in Delray Beach, Florida. I told him it wouldn't take that much at all. Actually, an entire web broadcasting system, and I'm talking about the top of the line here, is under $10,000. And you can actually get into it for under $7,500 if you know what you're doing. Now, you may be saying, $7,500, that seems pretty expensive. But the truth is, you can actually get going for under $1,500 in terms of the equipment that you need. But right now, I'm going to talk about Rich's ultimate guru setup and show you some images. Plus, let you in on the results we got for Rich, who is definitely an industry leader and someone you should be watching and taking notes from. Let's take a look at what he had to say after we got him all set up.
Okay, so my experience with Flip It Live has been insanely profitable, insanely educational, and really pretty seamless. So in this live stream tonight, I think we had like a 33% conversion rate, and we didn't have like just a few people show up. So that means that 33% of the people that showed up to watch some live video bought, and I'm not surprised. And the reason I'm not surprised is that I've seen these guys in action before. I can honestly say I can't think of anything that I think could be better. And if you're ever thinking about using their service, you're making the right choice.
All right, so let's start with a basic equipment breakdown. First of all, in order to do a live webcast, you will need, of course, some sort of broadcasting software or hardware. The Flip It Live crew uses a lot of different kinds of hardware and software, but Flip It's primary platform for producing and transmitting a live web broadcast is a software platform called Wirecast. The Flip It crew runs everything into that and then pumps it out onto the web, usually inside the Flip It Live platform, which is where you're watching this video right now. Everything on this page can be changed from inside the system to maximize your connection with the audience and drive sales during your live webcasts. So let's talk a bit about the software and then we'll move on to the hardware. Everything essentially runs into this very small box here by Blackmagic Design. This is the box that converts all of your video signals into something that a computer can process. There are other devices, but we tend to like Blackmagic products because of their simplicity, cutting-edge technology, and their ease of use. Now, running into the Blackmagic Express card is the ATEM. The ATEM is also by Blackmagic, and it allows multiple inputs from different types of video, including HDMI, like what you would find on your home television equipment, and also SDI inputs, which the Flip It Live crew likes to convert and run into the ATEM like so. The ATEM is a piece of hardware that allows you not only to input different video and audio sources, as you can see here on the backside, but also have total control over how you switch the different shots. So, if you take a look at this monitor right here, you can see multiple camera views of the studio in San Diego. Now let's talk about cameras. The Flip It team has access to some of the top cameras around, but the crew likes to travel light since Flip It does so many mobile gigs. The Flip It preferred camera is the Canon Vixia. The crew uses 3 of those in this configuration, and as you can see, Rich is also using them and he gets great results with them. Now, since live web broadcasting can be a bit, well, live and kind of random, it's good to have some sort of safety net to keep the talent anchored, especially if it's your studio and you are the talent. So for that, the Flip It Live team tends to use a teleprompter, which is mounted to one of the cameras to guide whoever is on screen. So there's a main camera into which the on-screen subject of the video looks, behind which is a teleprompter used to guide them on screen, prompting like so. And of course, each of the cameras needs a tripod to set on. And this one here, with the teleprompter, has the stoutest of all 3 tripods so it can support the weight of the teleprompter. Or here, in Rich Sheffrin's configuration, you can see that Rich has a pretty sweet little setup where everything hides away in a custom cabinet. Rich's teleprompter is right here in the center section. Like I said, it's pretty freaking sweet. The teleprompter connects to the flow director's computer through what's called a flipper box. This box essentially flips the video around since the 2-way glass on the teleprompter is reversed image of what's coming out of the computer. You need one of these to flip the image around unless you want to use some software that does it for you. In an ultimate guru setup like this, a flipper box is just the simplest and most efficient way to operate. Now, let's talk about lights. You could choose any assortment of lights you like. We tend to like the LED lights because they're extremely powerful, they're easy to travel with, and they're really not altogether too expensive. So, what you're looking at here in terms of the cost of the whole setup, starting from the software, which is in the computer, and moving on to the video conversion card, the ATEM switcher, plus all the cables, and the tripods and cameras and lights, oh yeah, and the teleprompter, the whole kit and caboodle, even the little switcher box, all under $7,500 if you already have a good laptop. In Rich's case, things have even been taken to another level, since Rich has a sweet cabinet in his office that everything tucks away very neatly inside of. So, that pretty much gives you a complete rundown of everything that goes into a live webcast studio on the grand scale of what the big dogs use. In a setup like Rich's, the Flip It Live team set it up for him so that he can actually control everything from his iPad all by himself. He can simply switch screens by touching whichever view he wants to use, which is pretty cool if you ask me. I mean, who wants to deal with a big complicated mess that requires a bunch of people to run it? And of course, like I said, Rich's setup is the super deluxe ultimate guru studio. But if you're on a tighter budget, there's a starter studio, which essentially looks similar to what I just walked you through. All that takes is some sort of computer, which can be a Mac or a PC, plus an interface like the Blackmagic Express card to convert the video into something that the computer can read. And along with that, some sort of live broadcasting and production software like Wirecast, using just a single HD camera and a couple of lights. If you wanted to, you could even get an iPad app that turns your iPad into a teleprompter, and that you could keep in front of your camera if you have an iPad or other tablet device. This whole configuration, if you already have a computer, is actually under $1,500. And you can usually make your money back by doing just one webcast by driving some traffic to it via Facebook ads and using your own list or a partner list. Plus, the nice thing about having your own webcast studio is the fact that live webcasts have a very high perceived value. So potential JV partners tend to be more inclined towards mailing towards a live webcast than they are about anything else. People like them, so they show up for them. And they're great for teaching and for selling. So, if you're interested in having the Flip It Live crew put together your own live web broadcasting system, we have a couple of ways that you can do that. Either you can click the Show Me More button at the right of the video here. it will take you to a page that will show you how to get access to our Flip It Live Studio do-it-yourself setup formula. It comes complete with all of the links you need to every single product I just laid out for you, and an extensive breakdown of how to set up everything in your live webcast studio. Or, if you wanted to have us order everything for you so you can put it all together yourself, you can just email me at the address you see on screen, and I'll tell you how you can get your Done With You Studio setup package. When you decide to go that route, we'll order all the stuff for you, make sure you get everything you need, plus you get 3 one-hour calls with the top 2 live broadcasting technicians in the business, Flip It Live's mad scientist geniuses, Colin and Tom. These guys pretty much invented the live webcasting game in the internet marketing space and have put together studios and/or done the biggest live webcasts with the top names in the world, including Pfizer Pharmaceutical, Jack Canfield, Brendan Bouchard, Brian Tracy, and of course, our buddy Rich Schefren. Together, Tom and Colin have leveraged the power of live web broadcast to generate millions of dollars for the biggest names around. These guys have done more launches than NASA. And you can ask just about any guru in the space, from Dan Kennedy to Rich Schefren to Andy Jenkins, if an hour's worth of this pair's time isn't worth its weight in gold. Or, lastly, if you'd like to find out how to get the totally done for you package, like Rich Schefren's studio, which you saw earlier, you can also email me at the address you see on the screen, and we can set up a time to go through what you need, and we will fly to your location and get you all set up. No matter what you do, absolutely, positively do not hesitate to get into the live web broadcasting game. It is the fastest, simplest, funnest way to connect and get your message out, build a list, and create streams of income online. Click the Show Me More button to the right of the screen right now. This is Carter Graham. See you later.